this fucking shit. What's the point?
Uncle Jim.
I can't take it anymore.
All right, well, first, congrats to the Chiefs. 6 straight AFC Championship games for a reason. Mahomes, best quarterback of our generation. Blah, blah, all that good stuff. Pretty much dominated the game, start to finish, outclassed us. You could tell there was one team out there today that's been there before and another that hasn't. And it was pretty easy to figure out which was which. Obviously, you didn't score in the second half, but you came out firing enough in the beginning to make it not matter. Our defense held the Chiefs to 0 points in the second half of the AFC Championship game, and we really never even came close to winning. To all the Ravens fans that wanted the Chiefs, knew a lot of people that are rooting for the Chiefs last week against the Bills. Hope you enjoyed. Could have played the allergic to success Bills instead. I'm pretty confident we would have rolled over them. But instead, you guys wanted the champs. You let the media convince you that they weren't the same this year, just completely ignoring that once a team of that pedigree gets that close to the trophy, they can taste it, they can smell it again. They've been told for 2 weeks now they're underdogs for the first time ever. They're going on the road. There ain't no Tom Brady anymore. I mean, they're the Patriots. You're telling them they're the underdogs. And you wanted that team. Well, you got it. You got the game you wanted. Completely outclassed. I still think the Ravens are better than the Chiefs. I think the fact that it was 17-10, despite the Chiefs dominating the game, kind of shows that. The drive before the half with the 2 personal fouls. Zay with the taunting after finally breaking through with a big play in the second half. Lamar throwing in the triple coverage when we finally had something going. I mean, it was just it was like I time traveled and I was back watching us play the Chargers and Titans. The team I watched the last 2 months, we were a little sloppy in the beginning of the season, but the team I watched the last 2 months, they were just non-existent. They just weren't there today. The defense was in the second half, but that's now in the Lamar era. We've lost 4 playoff games, not counting the Huntley one against the Bengals. That's kind of throwaway. I mean, that was a game we just rolled up, made it as dirty as possible, and basically won. Don't need to rehash what happened at the end of that game. But with Lamar starting, this is our 4th loss now in the playoffs, and the offense was literally non-existent in all 4 of them. That's coaching, that's play calling. I will say out of the 4, Lamar is probably the best in this one, but he made a lot of bad throws, and he also had no time. Like, this is not a... Obviously, Lamar is about to win his 2nd MVP. We keep it real here on AP Entertainment. Lamar did not have a good game. He did enough to make us have a small chance at the end. He had some amazing plays. I joked with my friends that when he caught his own pass, it was like the most amazing play in NFL history. Imagine if he would have housed that. I think they would have had to actually stop the game and be like, okay, the Ravens just won the Super Bowl here and now. Like, we don't need to see anything else. The offensive line was so bad. Holy shit. We didn't run. I mean, it's any like, you can pretty much ask any Ravens fan, ones that aren't delusional. I already see some idiot Ravens fans on Facebook, saying it's rigged, blaming the refs. That's how I can tell you guys don't really watch sports like that. You watch 17, 18 Ravens games a year, and that's it for your sports. Kind of towing on yourselves there, but what was I even talking about? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hurting. This is probably the best Ravens team I'll give the 2013 team probably the best, even though they only went 10-6 in the regular season. But that team was just so stacked. There's so many big time players on that team. But top to bottom, this may be the best team of my lifetime. I'm 31. And we got punked at home in our first ever home conference championship game. It sucks. I'm blown. You know, I didn't want to play the Chiefs, but I also didn't visualize us losing the game. Just because I thought we were the best team this year. Like, 49ers, Lions, Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was played today in Baltimore at 3 o'clock. The Chiefs will be beating either team that wins. I think the Ravens would have beat either team that wins the NFC game. When you come at the champs, you best not miss. I hope everyone learned a lesson today in how to not get too confident. Man, that play calling was ass. I swear, like, every other play in the first half was just a little throw to Justice Hill in the flat. We ran the ball with Justice Hill on 3rd and 1 in the trenches before Gus even got in the game. Humphrey went out in the first quarter, and CBS never even talked about it, never brought it up. You guys are gonna get like the live experience here, because damn. Shout out Kyle Hamilton, he was great today. He was the best player on the field today for the Ravens. Best player in the field was Travis Kelce, and what sucks is that man was talking shit. I can't even say from first snap. I mean, he was going ham in warm-ups. And he annihilated us the entire game. I think he was 11 for 11. And I'm not even mad. I mean, I'd be doing the same thing if I was him. I mean, they just punked us. We got punked. And to me, the most disappointing part, it's not the play calling, it's not the lack of coverage, pass protection. It was pretty annoying to see our defense get cooked early. So what you guys think was going to happen? You weren't prepared for that? Again, shout out to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, they're going to have a script to work for them in the first quarter, but damn. But the most disappointing part to me is getting outclassed. The personal fouls, the tauntings, the late hits. And all that being said, I mean, if you take away the 2 personal fouls that allowed them to get a field goal before the half, and then Zay doesn't drop the ball on the 1, it's a 14-14 game. That's why I said I feel like the Ravens are still the better team, because the Chiefs played better than us for 50 minutes of the 60 minutes. And it was still like those 3 minor things. It's a tied game. Oh boy. Well, I'm betting on the Chiefs, though, I can tell you that. Like, I'm not betting against that team until they lose. The 49ers will be better than them on paper, and I'll probably take advantage of whatever line gets thrown out there. I will say shout out to everyone that was at the bank today. I know a lot of people that were there. Joint sounded like a SEC night game. I mean, it was turned up the max. Yeah, that's the loudest an NFL crowd gets. So props to y'all. I wish the team would have matched it. And this is another, you just can't take it for granted, man. That's why you can't get overconfident. I'd love to say I think we'll be back in the same position next year, but the reality is when you have to pay your quarterback as much as we're paying Lamar, and that salary goes up every year, you're not gonna be able to keep more and more guys. Like Odell's in question, Matabuke's in question. Gotta lock Kyle Hamilton up early. I know he's only his second year. I'm not sure how early you can extend someone in the NFL. I'm more of a contract guy in the NBA and baseball. But as soon as that's possible, you got to do it. We're going to have to figure out the safety situation. Patrick Queen, he gone. Unless we franchise him. We could use the tag on him, I guess. But there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be gone. We just have to step it. We got to draft even better than we've been. Clowney probably gone. There's a lot of guys we just aren't going to be able to afford to keep in a hard cap league. And you see, the Bengals were the up-and-coming team. They lost in the Super Bowl. Haven't been the same since. Eagles, probably the biggest joke of the league this year when you look at their talent versus how they went out. Obviously, they looked good last year. We're right there in the Super Bowl. Who knows what's up with them? I mean, they trouble in paradise, man. It happens quick, and we didn't even make the Super Bowl, and we don't know how far we'll be back next year. Damn, missed opportunity. This was the team that we probably won't have a better roster than this. So it's going to have to be Lamar's just going to have to keep that next step. Man, he gave it his all though. He really did. That throw into triple coverage, that was, and you could tell in the third quarter, late first half, third quarter, the demons were starting to swirl in that stadium for him. I mean, I felt like I was watching 2018 Lamar again. Just didn't look confident. He wasn't never able to get in a rhythm because of the lack of protection in the first half. We gave up on the run. So in the second half, it was just like, you got to do it, man. And he made some big plays. Again, I mean, if Zay doesn't fumble on the goal line, it's 14-14, well, 17-14. So, not a great game from Lamar, but he did do enough for a possible win. It just didn't come together. You gotta bring it start to finish in these games. Even more bummed. I thought this was the year I was finally going to be able to get some new gear, man. It's the only Ravens hat I have. 2013 Super Bowl, obviously, you'll recognize it. My wife keeps saying, "Can I get you a new Ravens hat for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Nah, like I'm not getting a new hat till we win another chip. Chips are the only thing that matters in this franchise. We ain't playing for regular season, nothing. Super Bowl or bust, especially with this much talent." So my dad got me this for Christmas a few years back. I was like, man, I cannot wait to pop that bad boy next Super Bowl. I thought this was the year. I thought it was all going to come together.